Friends, welcome back to the Just Rip It podcast. My name is Adam, here with my mate Jimmy. Jimmy, how are you?
Good, mate. Yourself?
I am good. I'm good. Friends, first up, of course, if you're not following us on all the usual platforms, make sure you do so. We're on Spotify. Go along and subscribe there. You'll catch us on YouTube as well, where you can see the video versions. Just Rip It podcast, you'll find us there. And we've got the website, rippergcnation.com, where it all comes together. Go over there. And on Instagram, of course, rippergc.nation. Give us a follow. So we are in a live week, Jimmy, which is great. I spent a little portion of Sunday
Very exciting.
reliving and rewatching the final round of Hong Kong last year. So I'm entirely pumped. But let's get through a couple of usual agenda items. Firstly, your past week on the golf course. What have you got to report back on?
Oh, well, I am slowly improving. Slowly improving is
Great.
all I can say. I'm slowly getting more consistent with my iron strike, which is great. I was out on the course 2 nights ago with my driver and my 3 wood, and I was hitting them really nice. So I feel like if I can put everything together, I feel like I might be able to put a decent round in there. But I didn't do well on Wednesday night. I think I only got 14 or 15 points again, just because it was something that was just not clicking on the night. But otherwise, everything else seems to be going along okay, and we're cruising. So I'm going to play at a little volunteer run course next week on Labor Day down here in Victoria. Got the public holiday, so probably going to go down there and have an attempt to break 90 at a slightly easier course in Shepparton. So hopefully, again, I can get everything together at once. And
You,
yeah,
you,
it's getting exciting.
you know this is golf, right, Jimmy?
Yes. Yep.
Everything
Yep. I know.
everything
I know.
coming
It's ups and
together in one
downs. Everything
round.
changes. Doesn't happen.
Uh,
That's it.
well, look, I certainly admire your tireless practice, and of course, for those listening and watching, head over to YouTube to follow Jimmy Bunker's golf and the relentless time that my co-host puts in on and off the course. Um, Jimmy, I might be playing this week, but the news here is that we have a potential cyclone going to
Oh yeah.
make landfall in southeast Queensland around about Thursday time. So I don't know sort of what may or may not be happening. I'm meant to be going to
Mm.
Sydney on Thursday, Friday for work, but I've got a round booked in at the lovely St Michael's golf course on the edge of Sydney down in the Shire. But that'll be touch and go. But um, I was out on the golf course last Wednesday. Now remember, we had our first on-course challenge, Jimmy. You didn't
We
mention
did.
that. You didn't mention that in your debrief.
We did. And
How did you go?
no, neither of us have spoken about it with each other yet. Neither of us has actually mentioned it. So
Okay, so
I filmed it. I filmed it. And
I filmed it too. Well, I had my daughter with me in the cart, so we did a whole my first sort of foray into sort of trying to create some content on the course. But anyway, so I did the front nine at Capera,
yep.
and I had uh, pretty much just one opportunity to get three fairways in a row, which is the first, second, and third. So par five, par four, par four, and I teed it up on the first and sprayed it right, well off the fairway, lost it. So so within a matter of 20 seconds, the challenge was over for me
Oh,
because
bugger.
I didn't have three consecutive, really fairway. I could have gone short on the
Yep.
par three, but I didn't do
I
that.
feel
So
like
yeah, it
the
was a disaster.
the way I interpret it is I thought that if you're talking three consecutive fairways, say at Shep we go par four, par four, par three. So I'd say you go par four, hit the fairway, par four, hit the fairway. Don't worry about the par three. You just play it whatever it is, and then the
No,
next one's a par four
no,
and try and hit the fairway there. Anyway,
no.
I also only have one opportunity. Well, actually, it's two because there's four. There's a four hole stretch where it's got three par threes and a par five. So I took your make sure it's nothing lower than a 4 iron thing very seriously.
Yes.
And even though I hadn't been playing driver well, I decided to do it with my
Yeah.
driver. I wanted
Good.
to do it. I wanted to do it with the big stick. I didn't want to. I didn't want to lay up or use 3 wood or anything like that. First drive off a 10th didn't count anyway, but yeah, beautiful straight right. It was your right hand side of the fairway. I actually missed the fairway just by a smidgen, but it was on the right hand side, so I knew I was somewhere on track. Next one, 11th, beautiful tight draw over the tree, sat on the fairway, 80 meters off the green, just like muscled a 52 degree, 100 meters for some reason, and ended up coming back. That was fine. Par three. Then the next one, the 13th, dogleg round to the left, driver again, uh, nice little tight draw on the
Yeah,
fairway, looking
right.
good. That was pretty good. So
You're
that's
making me
one.
look terrible.
That counts as one. That's one because that's
Yes.
now got a chance at 3 consecutive fairways. That's one.
Yes.
Um, the 14th hit a low, stingy little driver because it's a very, very straight hole and it looked like it was going to miss the fairway, but it ended up landing on it. So that's fine. Landed on the
Mm-hmm.
fairway by about 2 meters.
That's two.
The next one, which is now I've got two, so needed to get it sorted. Which is the 15th at Shep. It's a dogleg around to the left. There's not really much landing room there, and you're not really supposed to play driver. Like it's definitely not a driver hole, but for me, I just wanted to do it all with driver. So teed it up. I'm sitting there. I'm trying to play a soft one, hopefully a nice little draw. Just get it down there. Just needed to touch grass, and I hit it nice. It was going pretty well, heading straight, but it was going towards a tree, and just missed the tree. Started bouncing, really trying to get its way back onto the fairway, and ended up in the rough. So I
Oh,
didn't complete it either.
okay. Okay.
But the
So
story is good.
yeah,
Story is good.
it was a fantastic story. The build up. So I'm just putting in the front
Yeah.
of the notepad here the official sort of count. So first challenge, we both go wash wash. Okay.
Both
Um,
failed.
we both failed. So Jimmy, it's your turn for the on course challenge this week. Do you want to reveal that now, or have you got it queued up for later, or when do you want to kind of throw
No,
it
we can go now. Now it's fine.
lay it on me?
Now it's fine. And no, so this is going to be situational because you don't know if you're going to get one of these situations or not. And if you happen to be, within 50 meters of the green,
Mm.
within 50 meters of the green, no matter whether or not need to chip over a bunker or you need to run something down or anything like that, you can only choose one club to play the whole round. So you can have your whole bag with you, but if you're within 50 meters of the green, whether or not you're in the bunker, on the grass, or wherever, you can only use one club for every situation. So if you need a flop shot over a bunker, or you need to play a bunker shot, or you're on the
What
fairway
for
and
the
you need to
rest of
get
the
something
hole? For the
a
rest
little
of
bit
the
further
hole
down there
or the next hole?
for the whole round, for the whole round, for the whole no, no, for the whole round. Every time you're within 50 meters of the
Oh,
fairway, you only have one
okay.
club that you can use. So you
Hmm.
can't cycle through. You can't cycle through
Okay, okay.
a few different clubs. You can't do a bump and run. You can't just
Oh,
pull your
that's
60-degree out to
hard.
try and get over a bunker. You can't just
Oh, that's
pull the
hard.
52 out for something. You can only choose one club for the whole round.
Okay.
It is hard.
Right. So technically, okay. So how this works is the first time you're in that situation. Oh no, you pick it before you tee off. Okay. So everything within 50
Yep.
meters, I'm going to use this club.
Pick it before you tee off.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay.
I nearly I nearly
Oh,
made it 100 meters, but I thought that's probably too hard. Let's start at 50 for
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. It's got to be something within close striking
Now
distance.
it is only for 9 holes. Yep. Close striking distance only for 9 holes too. So if you're playing a round of 18, only for 9 holes.
Okay,
So you
nine
can choose the front
holes.
or the back and away you go. But
Okay. Well, the issue I
yeah,
might have,
one club within that.
yeah, okay. The issue I might have is I might not get on a golf course this week because of the weather. So I will keep you informed of what happens. Okay, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
I think tropical cyclone is probably something that we can postpone for the next week. I think that's
Yeah.
active weather or something like that. We can delay it, but
Oh,
if you
you're a
can get on the
great guy.
course, that's what we'll do.
You're a great guy, Jimmy. You're a great guy. Um, Okay, Jimmy, let's talk the pros playing golf. Um, we had a bunch of the Live boys over in New Zealand for the New Zealand Open down at Millbrook composite course. Spectacular scenery, always good to watch on TV. Some of those holes were just delicious. Um, the likes of Benny Campbell and Herby were there. John Catlin was there. Wade Ormsby was there. Danny Lee was there. So I think they were the kind of current sort of backups
That was
and,
pretty much it.
active players. Um, Herbie came out strong, faded over the course of 4 rounds. Um, Played some beautiful golf though. So yeah, wow, that just to
Okay.
Uh, I'm back, Jimmy, and it's the recording's going, but yeah, it just I think that was my end. It just totally disappeared and then popped back up on the screen. So we'll just yeah, we'll just
Maybe that
have to
cyclone's here already, and it's
well,
just
I don't know what's
causing
going on.
havoc.
Anyway, we'll stitch that back together. Um, so yeah, so apart from just some good quality golf being played, no real live uh, sort of live contenders. Anything you took away in particular, Jimmy?
Yeah, well, there's just the whole story on Ryan Peake and where he's come from and what he's done and what he's been able to do to actually get back to professional golf and have a win is just insane. Like it's a
It's nuts.
proper fairy tale sort
Yeah,
of story. It's insane. And if you're not already aware of it, the Tee It Up podcast, a couple of guys, Q and McGill from Melbourne, they do a really good job and they've just re-uploaded an episode from 2 years ago. So listen to that and Peaky just tells you about the struggles of what he's been through and how golf was essentially his savior. And for him to get a win at possibly, I don't know, well, this side of America. So, in the Pacific region, Asian Pacific region, it's probably the most historic golf event that we have.
mm,
And it was just incredible. And I love watching the course looked amazing and just all of the traditions after the round with the presentations. It's just incredible. It's a great event. It really is.
it is, and a lot of interviews throughout the sort of last day, and everyone raving about it. I mean, players that I mean, they love coming,
Yeah.
they love traveling for it, to go into that part of the world. So,
Mm. Yep.
um, and yeah, he's stamped his ticket to the Open. Like that. That's just the
He
sugar
did.
on
Yeah. That's
top.
it. It's going to Portrush.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um,
It's gonna be incredible. It's good. It's good for him, and he's put in a lot of hard work to get there, and it's just hopefully just getting that first win under his belt can set him up because now he's got an Asian Tour card.
card.
Is
Yeah,
a winners category in the Asian Tour, so he can go out there and play in a higher event, which is great. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes.
yeah. A very
Hey, I reckon we might as well go back to some live stuff now with Hong Kong though.
yeah. Well, actually, a couple of a couple of things. Abe Answer got married just in more in broader live news. So Abe got married over the weekend. Um,
Oh, congratulations!
Maybe the honeymoon's in Hong Kong to coincide with this weekend.
Well, he's the
Um,
reigning champ.
he is, he is. I'm sure he's going to want to defend that. So yes, turning our mind to Hong Kong now, more specifically, um, very very excited. I really love this course. Because it's not just a big straight bomb and gouge kind of course. It's tight, um, heavily
Yeah.
vegetated. There's just some really cool holes on it. As I said, I went back and rewatched the final round, blow by blow. Jimmy, I got to say, I forgot how great that back nine was in terms of the continual changing of the scoreboard from the team's perspective. And then of course getting to a
Yep.
point where there
Yep.
was a three-way playoff. So yeah, I've got the full blow by blow on the first year in Hong Kong, which was last year, to relive. But it was,
Well,
I
yeah,
mean, the
the Ripper
Rippers.
Boys were the leaders after 2 days.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, and in the sort of final round on the Sunday, something is clearly not going well with this connection today. Can you hear me, Jimmy? Are you back on yet?
I can hear you, but your picture hasn't really changed much. And he's
Yeah.
back. Here he is.
Oh man, that's nuts. So yeah, the final round starts. I mean, Cam was six back, right? Abe Answer starts at 15 under, Cam
Yeah.
at nine under. Jonesy was nine under as well. We can't forget that. Um, if we kind of sort of fast forward to getting into the sort of, you know, last the back nine on that final day, um, the Rippers were at one point in that to start the back nine. The Rippers were second behind the Cleeks. The Cleeks got up there at 32 under. The Rippers 31 under. Um, then Torquay started to sort of make a move. So Cleeks were 33 under. Rippers 31. Torquay 30 on the back of Carlos Ortiz and Waco was playing some great golf. Um, and
Parko went
then
7 under on the final day
yeah,
because he got that hole in one that's been plastered everywhere.
yes, yes, yes. It
The
was.
eighth hole.
I can't remember what hole it was.
Yeah.
I think it was like one bouncing in,
Yep.
wasn't it? It was like
Yeah. One hopping in. It was awesome.
one hopping in, and leash birdies. The second Rippers go ahead by two. Um, there were some more birdies. Cam and Herby more birdies. Um, Rippers pulled to a three-stroke lead. Um, and then the Majesticks start making a move. And then as we get towards the end, Leash and Jonesy drop shots with two to play. Herby misses for par. Uh, they're tied with the Crushers. And then Paul Casey, a insane birdie out of the bunker on his last hole.
Yeah.
And the Crushers do the work and get it done. So look, from a Rippers perspective, was kind of there, but it shows the volatility in each individual player. And what was interesting for me, Jimmy, was going back and watching that final round, keeping an eye deeply on the team scores because this time last year I wasn't really
Yeah.
deep into the team part of the golf. And
As we know, that's where I watch. I'm always watching the team
uh,
scores.
it was just mental. But
So the one big thing from the round last year, and a couple of podcasts ago, you actually asked me, you're like, "Are we going to see a Legion whitewash throughout the whole season?" And I did say that like Hong Kong and Singapore are not their strong suits.
no,
And Legion 13, they came last in the team standings. Like they were 15 under. They were 17 shots. Oh no, 20 shots. They were 20 shots off the lead at Hong Kong. So it's one of those courses that it just doesn't suit everybody.
no.
And it's not just a bomb and hope course either. But Bryson managed to work his way around there. Like he hit a 400-yard drive off on a par five because they got that elevated tee box there and just absolutely sent one last year. I just remember watching it, the city skyline in the background, and just it was
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
So it's gonna be a great watch.
The watching is fantastic. I was watching, I think it was Paul Casey on the 18th or someone on the 18th, and they were sort of just, addressing the ball, and it was raining very lightly that day, and
Yep.
looking into the 18th, over the water, massive skyscrapers in the background, and what I noticed was there was a moment where the commentary team was sort of quiet as he was addressing the ball, and all that you can hear is wildlife. Like the bird life is insane, and it was just such
Yeah.
a fantastic setting for such a great sport. So, love Hong Kong. Um, I think there's a bunch of guys that would just, will love this course yet again. As you say, not for everyone. Um, I did hear, I did see on social media a post that the Ironheads have got a bit of a lineup change, and Ollie Schneiderjans has come in for the Ironheads. He's signed a one. The sort of post was, Ollie signs a one game. A one tournament contract with the Ironheads. I haven't been able to verify who's out on the Ironheads, but I think that's the only change to the usual
Yep.
lineup that we have.
Well, I've got something that could have very possibly been a fair change, and I don't know whether you saw AK's post during the week, but he played Riyadh and Adelaide with a massive blood clot in his knee. Like, well, actually, I think it was in his calf.
Yeah, right.
So he spent most of Riyadh not well throwing up, and then throwing up all throughout Adelaide, just every night, not feeling well at all. His foot was numb. He had a really sore knee, and he ended up getting it checked out after those two events, and they found a blood clot in his calf, a
Yeah,
heap of swelling
wow.
in his knee, and then he nearly had a stroke.
Well, he he
So
he's already arrived in Hong Kong, hasn't he? I thought I saw.
he
So he's already
yep,
travelled
yeah,
there.
he's already travelled there. So he a couple of days in hospital, sorted out the blood clot, and away he goes. He's fine. But it was just the last two events, he was really struggling. And I
Wow.
thought that he actually was like on the mend doing pretty well. Like he played some pretty good golf over that time, but
Yeah,
he
wow.
definitely didn't quite crack the top, 15, 20 or thereabouts. But to be in the state that he was in,
Yeah,
that's
wow.
pretty insane. So,
Yeah.
looking forward to a bounce back from him because I know, as I said, he's been putting in a hell of a lot of work and it'll be really exciting to see what he can do around here, which would be good. But I don't know. Do you want to get in some tips, or you want to keep talking about a bit of a preview? Because I've got some names locked and loaded.
Yeah, yeah, just before we leave AK, that final round in Hong Kong last year, I think he like ended up with 5 under or something, and that was like his sixth game back.
Yep,
And he had fun on that course. So,
yep.
just what a again what a journey there. But Jimmy, what do you got well, who you liking? Who you liking? What have you got?
Well, in the team aspect, and it's very like it does burn me a little bit to say this, but I'm going with the Majestics. Burns me because they're not Australian, but they just nearly closed
And
out
then
last year in Hong Kong.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They
yeah.
had a really good tournament in Adelaide. They just really faltered on the final day. And I just feel like they're close. And this might be the tournament where everything falls their way. It's it, even last year, if all four scores were counting, or all four rounds last year, they were all under par for the first two, all four of them, but they just had to drop a couple of them off.
Yeah.
Sorry. Lee Westwood was four over on the first day, but everyone else was under par, and they were all under par on the second day, and all under par on the third day. So they all played it relatively well. They scored plenty of birdies. They did score a few bogeys. They played really well in Adelaide. They were getting close to somewhere near the top at Riyadh. It's just got to come. It's just got to come. It's got to happen soon. And I feel like with what they did last year and where they've sort of currently been, I reckon they're one to watch.
Yeah, look, I
And also, actually, sorry to cut you off again,
yeah.
but Polt's actually won at this course. He won the Hong Kong Open in 2010 as well. So it's obviously a course he's familiar with. He won 22 under par to win that. So yeah, that's my team picker, and we're wearing this hat and wearing this shirt. It hurts, but
Yeah.
it's what I think might happen.
Yeah. You know, yeah, I mean as much as I want the Rippers to win every single week, we we're real, and I acknowledge that there's a couple of weaknesses there. Like again, I was watching Cam Ty's first place, right, with Abe and
Yeah,
Paul Casey.
Casey.
Um, Cam was like, I was watching on par five, rubbish off the tee, um, you know, punches out, second shot, off the third shot, doesn't get it on the green, down slope, sort of probably 40 meters from the pin, and, chips it to within kind of 5 feet and sinks the putt, right? So kind of walks
Oh
away with a
yeah,
walks
yeah,
away with a par after sort of rubbish. And I just think to myself,
yep.
if he cleaned some of that stuff up, he'd be up there with Rahm every week in the top three.
Oh yeah,
And
yep.
and
100%.
and Jonesy kind of, we know Jonesy. So um, yeah, as much as I want Rippers to win every week, they kind of could. But anyway, I like that tip though, Jimmy. Majestics. There has been some really good individual performances of late. And I was watching Henrik Stenson a fair bit in that final round, and he was making mistakes, but he was playing some good golf. So I think he's still got. I think all of them have still got some fuel in the tank. But then again,
Oh yeah.
watching the crushers come back, Anna Ben Lahiri he's such an underrated player. So a whole bunch
Oh yeah.
of a whole bunch of teams totally in the mix, but I'm going fireballs. Um,
Back to back.
just just uh yeah, they were just so on form in Adelaide. Um, as individuals, they're great. Um, so yeah, it's a fireballs for me. Maybe Torquay a close second, but that's what I'm feeling with that course. It's a bit Adelaide-esque.
Yep.
There's kind of some tight fairways, and you got to shape the ball.
A lot
Um,
softer and slower though.
yeah, yeah. So um, so that's the team I'm going with this week. The Fireballs. Who have you got for the individual winner?
Well, again, this may be a left field side of things again. I'm not too sure. Um, but I'm going with Benny Campbell. And it's
Yeah,
not just picking
right.
a name out of a hat. Like he won the Hong Kong Open in 2023. He started to settle into the live side of things. He's had two events under his belt now. He just went home, got a bit of a refresh, got to be able to see his family, got to be able to do things in the New Zealand Open just gone. So he's had that little bit of, the homesick bug's gone. He's back into it. He's focused. He plays the course well. He has played the course well in the past. I reckon Benny Campbell, it's going to be his I'm a live golfer, here I am sort of moment this week.
Yeah, right. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. But my tip is Lucas Herbert, and I'm going to keep tipping Lucas Herbert
Yep.
until he wins one. I had him for Adelaide. I had him for Adelaide.
He
I had
has to win one this
I,
year.
I had him for the
Yep.
New Zealand Open. So I'm just going to keep going Lucas Herbert every week
Yep.
until that man wins one, because I think he is. I think this is his year. Um, and he can totally do it. So um,
So do you
I'm going
believe
Lucas
that
Herbert
Lucas
this week.
Herbert would be the first Ripper to win this year? So he'd be the first Ripper golfer to win this year. Is that what you're tipping? You're tipping him to win before
Yes,
Leach, to
yes,
win before Smithy?
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Lucas will be the future captain
I
of
like it.
Ripper GC. Like,
Yeah, right. Very
yeah.
good.
I mean, Cam's got a lot of years left, but Herbie's going to be a superstar. His game is just too good.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, it suits Liv. It's really good.
Yeah, and I think, well, here's the key word for me. I think Lucas Herbert is the most consistent of the team.
Yep, yep,
Um,
I agree.
yeah, so for me that's just gonna be invaluable. So
You
I've got
get Cam to hit fairways though, and that bloke just doesn't lose. He just needs to be able to
no,
just find something with the driver and get off a tee okay, and then everything else is fine.
yeah. Okay, so we got you're tipping Ben Campbell. I'm
Yep.
tipping Herby. You've got the Majestics, and I totally get behind that. And I'm going the Fireballs.
So
Okay.
if you just watched a little bit, and I'll watch a bit of a New Zealand Open, and just Ben Campbell, like the mistakes that he made were just like slight little mistakes this weekend, but he was
Yeah.
hitting it nice off a tee. He wasn't really getting into much trouble there. It was just his second and third shots just sort of a little bit letting him down, and maybe just relaxing a little bit, the slower pace, playing a little bit more of a softer course. Hopefully the weather conditions are a little bit better. Things like that. I just feel like it just might all work out for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We will see. We will see. Anything else on Live, Jimmy?
Oh yeah. Nothing else on live apart from the fact that I'm really excited. And the time slot is just perfect for us. I think I covered it last week. It's 3:15 my time, 2:15 your time.
Mm,
With the final day being a half hour later. So it's
perfect.
perfect viewing to, yeah, just wind up, wind down in the afternoon and watch it into the evening. So it's gonna be great.
It is 3 days, 20 hours, 33 minutes, and 3 seconds per the countdown clock here. Okay, well that's awesome. So YouTube golf, shall we go there?
Yes. Yeah.
I did my homework. Um,
Fantastic.
and the task was for me to go and watch Eric Anders Lang,
Eric Anders Lange. That's it.
and it was a 20-minute video of Eric heading down to the Mornington Peninsula. It was actually more than what there was more to it than what you described. I thought it was just him going to
I
the
didn't want to give too much
dunes.
away.
Yeah,
No.
so I was locked in and fascinated from the go because they had the chap that designed Darius, I can't remember his surname, who designed Cape Wickham.
Yep.
And he took Eric and his crew on a little sort of taste of the Mornington Peninsula with they checked in at the dunes and St Andrews Beach, and I think there might have been another one. No, Ganamata course. No, am I making that up? Where were they?
No, no, that's it. That's the one. Yep.
Well, was
Yeah,
that it?
they played they played the Ganamata course.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I tell you what, I was glued to that for 19 and a half minutes, which was the entirety of it. Um,
Yep.
I loved. I don't know if these are the right words, but I love the grittiness of it. And what I mean by that is, I mean the videoing, the style of the video, right? It wasn't all selfie, holding the camera, driving in carts. It
Yep.
wasn't polished, still tripod work. It was this very cool blend of him walking with a camera, holding it, drone footage,
Yep.
camera just sitting on the ground beside the bag as they're iron shots off fairways, um, bit of music, a bit of sort of B roll in there. It was so well done. Um,
Yeah, I thought you might like it, which is why I suggested it. I thought it was right up your alley. It was different to what
yeah,
we've been doing, which has just been watching some half competitive, a little bit of golf sort of stuff, which is good. But that's the other side of YouTube golf that people probably aren't that familiar with, is that there's more to it than just people playing rounds of golf and away they go. Like Eric
yeah,
Lang gets out there and he tells the story of golf and goes to all these unique places, and it's very, very interesting. I love it.
yeah,
It's
yeah. And it's going to be interesting when I wander into some of the other YouTube golf rooms.
mhm.
As an example, when I binged the third season of Full Swing over the weekend,
Oh, right. I'm
and
only
and
episode in.
and when they get to Minwoo Lee, they were sort of, digging a little bit deeper into sort of him as a personality and very
Yep.
active on social media, and they were showing some footage of him with the good guys,
Yep.
and it's kind of like 16 teenagers, sort of, just mucking around, right? Um, that kind of YouTube golf I haven't watched, and I know it's out there. Um, so, being the old man that I am, or it's sounding like that. Eric Anders Lange was just like a really nice balance for me. It wasn't gimmicky, wasn't kids running around on fairways and carts and joking. It was
Yep.
just, it was just really engaging. I really liked it. Yeah, so
It
that
is.
was a good one, Jimmy. Thumbs up on
No,
that
that's a
one.
good one. No, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it, which is good. All right. I'm just trying to find this other one because it's
You gonna set me another
slightly
one?
different again. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. It's
yeah.
slightly different again. It's a Golf Digest video.
Oh, okay.
Um, and yeah, where are we? Hang on. It's there it is. So 8 months ago, they actually did it, and it's called it's called the scariest green at Pinehurst number two. This is the hole
Ooh.
at Golf Digest. So what they do is they have a couple of different series. One of them is every hole at a certain golf course, and when it's every hole at a certain golf course, what they do is they then do drone footage and they show you when they have like an architect or a pro who's played there before and they talk over this golf course and they tell you all the nooks and crannies and everything like that, which is actually really cool. So you might get some of those off here. But this is just one hole. They just
Yeah,
talk
right.
about one hole and the architecture side of things about one hole at this course, the topography of the greens, the setup there,
Yeah,
what
right.
makes it so unique and so iconic.
Yep.
So
Yep. Okay.
I'll send you the link. It's the par five fifth hole at Pinehurst number two, and it's just a deep dive just in that golf hole and the architecture and all that sort of stuff. Because it's quite a challenging hole, and it's a really good watch if you really want to nerd out about that sort of stuff because it's quite nice.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I'm all
Yeah.
in on that. Um,
Yep.
anything else happen in the YouTube world while we've
Well,
been
actually,
away? Yes.
Phil Mickelson and
Ah.
Grant Horvat, they're about to play John Daly and his son in a 2v2 match. So
Yeah.
I think that video goes live tomorrow. But yeah, that's the last 2v2 match was pretty cool. This time they've got John Daly and his son, so that's gonna be a bit of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy, I need to understand what Phil and Grant are doing. Um,
Yep.
so the way I'm interpreting it is Phil does YouTube golf, Grant does YouTube golf. They do their own thing, but just clearly they just come together for certain things. Is it? They don't have anything formal together, do they?
Well, I feel like now, well, they definitely do. Yes, yes. So sorry, it's a
Right.
two-part question. Two-part answer is what I'm saying. They originally started playing golf together when Grant invited Phil onto his YouTube channel. So Grant
Right.
invited Phil out. Phil already had his high flyers things and was doing some stuff. At that point, Phil probably didn't know as much about Grant as what he thought he did. He probably just introduced to him, whatever it is, you're going to play golf with a YouTube golfer. It's going to be a bit of fun. They in the very first match they had a bit of a wager because you know what feels like with that sort of
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
They had a bit of a wager. Grant Horvat part owns a clothing company called Primo Golf.
Hmm.
So his wager was with Phil because he always wears shorts and pants.
Oh, this is
Was that
the
if
the
he beat
joggers thing,
Phil,
right?
that's it. If he beat Phil, he had to wear joggers at the Open last year,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and he started 5 shots under par. So Grant started 5 shots under par, and Grant obviously won. And Phil had to wear joggers at the Open, and that's that little side bet, the fact that he yeah, I don't know, held his end of the bargain, sort of got a bit of a friendship going, and they ended up going back for a rematch. And then they did another video together, and then they decided to start doing this 2v2 thing. And then outside of all that, now Primo Golf, which is part owned by Grant Horvat, is the official clothing supplier of the High Flyers golf team.
Okay.
So now they're
So
real,
that's the
real
that's
close.
yeah, that's the relationship kind of
Yep.
that's the more business end of the relationship going on. Okay.
It
Okay,
is. And
right.
just watching them both together because they're both like, again, both golf nerds and both love talking about, strike and feels and where your hand should be and what all that sort of stuff is and
Yeah.
spin rate. It's just really cool watching them. I like the energy that they bounce off of each other. It's very fun.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's what it is. And then you're going to get John Daly and his son, which are going to be totally opposite. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's going to be a
Yeah.
fun video to watch. But that's not a recommendation. If you watch it, you watch it. But yeah, watch that number one hole. Yeah. I sent the link to you on Instagram just then so you can check it out.
Okay, that's good. Um, just before we leave YouTube golf, Jimmy, do we know where or what Mr. Shields is doing this week in Hong Kong, or is anything? I haven't seen anything on
Yep.
socials about new
Yep.
videos or anything, or have I missed something?
Yeah. No, the videos normally come out. So the Break 75 of Hong Kong will come out on the Thursday. Like that's definitely happening. I believe he might have been filming it yesterday or today because
Okay.
there's some Instagram footage of him there at the course saying how incredible it is, which is cool. I don't know yet who the 2v2 matchup is or who the 10 shot challenge who he's playing with a pro, but there will be a few videos come out of it, much like what we've seen out of Adelaide and Riyadh. But the main one that they do is for Break 75, so everybody can see Rick Shields play the course that all the pros are going to play on the Thursday before the actual event. So that'll be coming out, yeah, sometime on Thursday. I think it's 5 p.m. UK time.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Uh, coming
Yeah.
to the end here, Jimmy, what else have we got to discuss?
Oh, well, this time in golf. Well, is that what we called it? Like golf way back then from the Digests or Golf Australia magazines?
Oh, I did, Jimmy. I did. I failed
Oh,
you.
look,
I
it's
in
okay.
in getting my new
I got
setup.
a backup.
In getting my new setup going, I threw it into a pile of 30 Golf Australia magazines. It's over in the corner there. I
Well,
can
I got
see it.
this.
But
I got
what
this.
what have you got? What have you got?
I got the Golf Victoria magazine from February and March 2019, so it's current.
Yeah, right.
And it's got Salim Bettine and David Law on the front cover. They're the winners of the Vic
Yeah.
Open. And this was actually Salim Bettine's first LPGA Tour win at the Vic Open, the ISPS Honda Vic Open.
Yeah, right.
Um, which, yeah, funding has dropped and it's certainly dropped off. It was a great event back in the day, and now it's
Yeah.
certainly gone down. But yeah, it's a full spread article about her win.
Yeah,
And she's gone
right.
on to win 6 times on the LPGA and the
Yeah.
Evian Championship.
Yeah.
There's a young Nelly Corder there as well who came down to
Wow.
play. Yeah, a couple of things in that book. We've got a young Jasper Stubbs in here a couple of times. You got a Wade Ormsby in the book
Wow.
here as well, all lining up. So this is actually
Do they
this was
still
quite
do
interesting.
they still publish that, Jimmy?
I actually don't know. I don't know if I do or not,
Yeah,
but
right. Golf
no, it was quite
Victoria.
interesting. And then just from Shepparton local, Jared Lowell, double page spread about the Do It for Jared
Yeah.
campaign, which is
Yeah.
really good. So
Is he a local from there, is
yeah,
he?
yeah, he either still holds or it's been tied the course record at Shep, but he was a Shepparton Golf Club
Yeah,
member,
right. Wow.
and he's a local to Shepparton. So yeah,
Yeah, right. Jimmy, I'm gonna have to get down and play Shepherd at some point. Um,
you are. The course is incredible.
yeah, your footage and photos looks stunning. I've been
Yeah,
to
it's a
Shepparton
very
tw
photogenic course. And sorry, there's a dog little tail there. He just decided to sit on my lap.
That's all right. I've been through Shepparton twice, and um,
Yep.
that was before I had this infliction called golf addiction. So, but I'll make it happen one day. Um, the week ahead in golf, Jimmy, you've got your huge on Wednesday
Yeah,
evening, I
yeah.
imagine.
Got
Yes.
the Chook run Wednesday evening, front nine this week. So hopefully I can bounce back from last week. As I said, everything's starting to click and feels pretty good at the moment. So hopefully I can just put it together and keep it going. The only choose one wedge within 50 meters is going to throw me a
Yeah.
little bit, but I didn't put that challenge in to be like advantage me straight away. I thought it'd be pretty fun for us both. So I'll have to work that
Yeah.
one out
Yeah.
because the last two times I've played both courses, I haven't been in a bunker, so I don't know if I need my sand wedge. I'll have to choose one. It'll be interesting.
Well, yeah, I need to think about this based on what nine I might play. Well,
Yeah.
whether I play at all. But if I'm playing this week at St Michael's down in New South Wales, and that oh, I'm gonna have to do some research. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I
Yeah.
might book in nine, maybe on Sunday afternoon or Monday morning. Hopefully the this cyclone's gone by then, and I can go play a familiar course. We'll wait and see, but it's a good
See how
challenge
we go.
nonetheless.
But
Nonetheless.
yeah, got a bit of that, and obviously keep practicing my 75 hard, and then on Monday I'll get out to, I think I mentioned that a bit earlier. I'll get out to a volunteer run course and have a bit of a hit out there too, which would be pretty good.
Yeah, awesome. And then we'll record again Monday night and debrief on all things Hong Kong. So
That's
what
it,
comes after
and
Hong
get into
Kong?
Singapore. Singapore.
Is it Singapore straight after? Oh,
Yeah,
Sentosa.
two
Love that
fantastic
course.
courses in a row, and
Yeah.
two fantastic viewing times for us too, which is awesome. So I've already looked ahead to Singapore. We'll talk about it next week, but they're teeing off at 9 o'clock in the morning before it gets really humid, which means it's about a
Yes.
12 o'clock start for us. So
Yeah.
I like the sound of it.
Yeah, that is great. And my trip to the US
Yeah,
is getting closer and closer, Jimmy. So
it is.
yeah, it's happening this month, the third. Yeah, 16 days. Okay, my friend, I think that is everything from us, friends. Make sure you jump on all those platforms and good things. Spotify is the Just Rip It. YouTube, Just Rip It podcast on Instagram, rippergc.nation, and on the World Wide Web, rippergcnation.com. That is it from
That's it.
me. Just Rip It. Jimmy,
Just rip it. Say hello, Henry.
see ya, Henry. Is Henry going to be
Uh,
watching this weekend?
he'll be watching.
Perfect. Look forward to catching up again, Jimmy. See you soon,
All
mate.
right, sounds good. Catch you later.
Bye bye.